Hey everybody, and welcome to the Milk and Honey Podcast. Woo! We were so in sync for that one. That was cute.
Finally. After 9
So,
episodes.
I know. Welcome to episode 9.
We love it.
Fine and 9. We are going to be talking today about our favorite television shows.
Okay.
We really gonna dive into if some of this shit on TV is like for real. Because we have been talking about it and now I'm a little scared, I'm not gonna lie to you. So, first up on the docket, we gotta talk about the buzz on the street. There's a lot of stuff that's been happening this week. So, Malcolm, you wanna kick us off?
Yeah, okay, so the first buzz or the first beat that's in my ears,
How are there bees' ears? How do the bees get to your ears?
anyway, alright. So the first one is I went to Rolling Loud, so we're gonna talk about the baby and and the backlash of what like happening now.
So you were there for when that happened?
So I was there when it happened. I heard the whole thing.
That was wild.
So what
But
happened?
then me just being me, I'm just like, it's a show, so like, you know, people just say people say wild things at shows anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, don't quote me on this, but he basically just like is wild as hell when it deals with like people who are like homosexual, and he says like, I wish I had the clip because
No, he was like, if you ain't come with no STD, stand up.
Yeah.
If you ain't out here giving
Sucking dick. If you ain't a man, you ain't sucking no dick in the parking lot. And then the DJ says like, yeah, because you know some of these niggas be down low.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So they're like going tit for tat with each other, and then he says like, then he comes on the video and says like, if you have STD, like he's like, my fans can be gay, like it's cool. I know I have gay fans for the baby. He's like, the only difference is like my fans who are gay are clean. They don't have STDs and shit.
He said, yeah, my fans are sedity, they're not sucking dick in the car.
Yeah.
Wait,
So it's
what?
wild because it's like he assumes that STDs and HIV and AIDS.
Sex in the BET Awards.
Yeah, and AIDS is like a dirty disease, which it isn't. It's not a dirty, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's wild to think that way.
Right.
And then just to openly say that shit is just even
Is
worse.
this Danny Lay's baby daddy?
Yeah. But I
This
feel
is
like,
really.
Allegedly.
Wait, hold on.
Is that
So
confirmed?
is that confirmed? Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, she had her, okay,
around that
I mean, we can
time.
also talk
She
about that
had
too.
the
She had her
baby
baby shower, last week too.
But I'm
The
just so
baby shower?
confused why he ain't. Yeah, I'm so.
I mean, but he wasn't there.
But the timeline matches.
That timeline matches too
Yeah,
closely.
no, but y'all know they was together. They had
Okay,
pictures
well,
and everything.
why he ain't around right now?
Because he doesn't like her. All right, next.
Okay.
Ooh.
I mean, that's honest. Like, y'all don't see them together, so you must not like.
Wait, so I just think it's crazy how literally the baby said something crazy the way he did at Rolling Loud, and now he's lost out on so much money.
Yeah.
They dropped him at Lollapalooza.
Lollapalooza.
Lollapalooza?
Yeah.
Is that really how
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is?
That's how it's pronounced, man.
I was in town one time. I was in town one time when it was there. That shit is crazy. Like, it literally tears the city up.
Have you seen that video?
Chicago.
Oh, yeah. I was about to be, yeah. So there's a video where people are hopping the fence, but there's one guy who comes up. He has a prosthetic leg.
Yo, it's so.
And the cops only
And the
stop
cops
him.
only stop him. And they're like,
Yeah,
what?
and somebody's like, hold on, bro. That's kind of messed up.
And then
Y'all
he's
only
like-
stop him, bro.
Oh
Twitter,
that is
Twitter, like
hard.
the shit that Twitter
Yeah.
finds, like, and posts
Twitter is so
like,
funny. I like the tweets
comedy.
about the
Twitter
baby.
is hilarious.
But yeah.
So he's just losing out on literally like millions. of
Yeah,
dollars.
but
Yeah,
you gotta understand that, like,
That's right.
Yeah, somebody
Oh,
tweeted
yeah,
like
that's
he's
just
stupid because I would have been had a remix
Yeah.
with Lil Nas X by now.
oh
What'd you
God.
say?
Someone tweeted like he's stupid and he's losing too much money because if it was me, I would have had a remix with Lil
Oh
Nas
yeah, he
X
should
right
have
now, and I would have
on
had a red
industry
table
baby.
talk.
Oh yeah. Red table talk. Why people be using red table talk to clear their name? Oh my god.
That's what we did all
Let me
quarantine.
talk to you,
Yo.
Jay.
That's what we did all
It
quarantine.
is.
Right.
It is.
Did it all
The
quarantine and it
live
worked
shows,
out.
They're so good.
All
He should've
quarantine.
done better.
Right.
Even if
Damn.
people are sensitive, you know, even if you think people are sensitive, that's the climate now. Just think people are sensitive. I can't
But
say
it's
this
just-
type of thing.
Do you remember when the baby came out? People used to love the baby
But it's
because they were
also-
like, he's so
No,
like.
we
comical.
liked his music.
They
was just comical.
romanticizing.
Yeah, people
the
love
baby
the
so
baby.
much.
Yeah, y'all were fantasizing.
They did, and based off of what he said,
Yeah,
they were just
y'all.
like,
They
oh
did-
my
y'all-
god,
y'all
he's
were-
such a good
y'all were.
guy.
Okay,
Oh my
yeah.
god,
You- what, y'all
he
like
looks
women?
great, so
I think
giving.
men love the baby too, because everybody loved the baby. I feel like when he.
I mean, rap wise, he's very comical, so it's like it's lit.
Right.
You think so?
Yeah.
Double.
Doppelgänger.
Okay.
Doppelgänger.
So the next be in my ear,
Okay, go ahead.
cause that's just a bad English accent.
Doppelgänger.
Is yesterday there was a versus, an NYC based versus. It's Dipset versus the Locks.
Who's that?
So the Locks is a group that Jadakiss is in, and Styles P, and then Dipset is the Cameron, Mike Jones, Who else is in?
Mike Jones.
Who else is in? No.
Mike Jones. Black people so fun. Woo,
Who else is
nothing.
in? Who else is in
Who
Dipset?
else?
Joel Santana. And
I was just about to
and
say.
Freakum Zeke. It's a guy named Freakum Zeke.
Freakum Zeke?
Yeah, but they call him Freaky Zeke. But most people call him Freakum Zeke. Oh, damn, they got keys.
How many guys he got on there? 25?
Come on, yo.
Okay. Freaky Zeke. Mm-hmm.
And that's it. It's season 4. It's them 4 in the group.
Okay, and what else happened?
They had a NYC versus, and it was really lit because
Was that like a packed stadium or no?
it was a packed stadium. It was in Madison Square Garden.
Are you wait? What?
Sold out
Wait,
Madison.
what?
Sold out Madison Square Garden.
They sold
Jeez,
out
the
Madison
biggest
Square
thing.
Sold
Garden.
out
Biggest
Madison.
arena.
Sold out Madison.
Wait, how
Square
did
Garden.
they sell out Madison Square Garden in such a short amount of time?
This has been going on for like they've been promoting for like 2 months now.
Are you serious?
Definitely.
Wow, I didn't know that. Yep.
Definitely. Definitely been promoting for 2
Oopsies.
months. Been seeing it all over my
Madison?
timeline.
I'm
Madison
surprised you
Square
didn't
Garden.
know.
Yeah.
Such a fun fact. Such a fun fact.
But I think it was definitely a regional one. So like the same way when I think it was like
Gucci and Jeezy.
no, that was everyone saw that one. Like
Okay.
one where
That was the best one to me.
E40 E40 went against somebody from like from the Bay Area one time, and it was like only Cali people watched it. Like it's the same thing, like only New York people or people who like really like hip hop watched it. Like it was like so it's okay if you didn't watch it because just like it's whatever.
I saw it.
But it was good because the clips made it funny.
I saw the little circle up on Instagram. I ain't clock into it.
Nah, she ain't clocking.
But
I ain't from New York. So.
the clips on Insta and Twitter were
Do
like
you think
hilarious.
we would have gotten it if we weren't from New York?
I mean, if you like hip hop, you would have got it.
Okay.
So
But
if
there-
you didn't like hip hop,
if you didn't like-
you were more
like- but if you don't like
jazz
hip hop,
fan,
yeah.
it's not for you.
R&B or
Or-
blues
or if you
shit
like anything-
that.
if you
know,
like-
it's
Yeah,
If you like more trendy music instead of like music that we heard when we was like earlier, like when we was kids, like 05, like 01, around that area, then you probably was like, oh, nah, I'm gonna get out of here.
The thing about Joel Santana and Cameron, whatever the case may be, like those are real New York players now. Everybody knew Dipset from back in the day. Don't they have a movie that's based on?
I'm just listening. I'm just listening to what she has to say. Like I'm like, okay.
Wait, don't they have?
So Cameron wasn't paid. Cameron wasn't paid in full.
I was just about to ask, weren't they in a movie?
Joel Santana wasn't in that movie, but Cameron was in that movie
Isn't there a movie based on their life?
to an extent,
Thank you.
a little bit.
Thank you.
We'll give you a little bit of that.
Give me,
I'll give you a few
give me
points.
my coins.
There should be like
She's saying paid in full.
there should be like a
based on
ding, ding, like thing.
Give me my check.
Because sometimes like Chantal be just doing what she's doing.
Wait,
She's
you
just
said, like,
reaching.
paid in full is based on their life, or just a
No, a
movie in
movie
general?
is based on their life.
But sometimes Chantal just be like reaching, and you just be like, all right, let me
No,
just do the
I
coin.
think he grasped.
Okay, so the next bee in my ear is it's summertime, so because it's summertime, it's the NBA free agency. So NBA free agency right about now. We just had the draft, and
Great
then
draft, by the way.
we had a really good draft.
Is it really?
The Hawks drafted the best.
Oh yeah.
Hands down.
Detroit Pistons got a really good guy too, though. Detroit Pistons went number 1.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, they did.
They did,
Okay.
they did.
Who just turned down an offer to be a free agent? I just saw that. It was someone real
Kawhi
popular.
Leonard.
Yes.
Who?
Kawhi Leonard.
It don't matter.
It was
Don't matter?
old news. Yeah.
Yeah, it was old. He already was like stuck in. Well, I won't say stuck in his contract. He's already in his contract for like another year.
Yeah.
So it's like he's hurt this next year. So he's like, I might as well just get this money
Yeah.
from the team that I'm already on instead of trying to switch and go like. Another team would take him anyway, but it's just like,
Yeah.
bro, you're hurt for a year anyway.
Yeah. So I'm not about to.
So yeah, we might as
So
well just stay
why
right
is it
now.
so important? Why is it?
Yeah, I'm
why
really
is
curious
it?
too.
Cause
Oh, it's
You
like
care?
no, yes, you do care. 'Cause
You
it's
do.
like players are
Just people
available, so
wanna know,
other.
like, somebody
this is how you get your team
Yeah, this is
better.
how you get your team
so
better
like
without having to wait for the draft.
back in the day,
good
yeah,
players are available.
literally.
Okay.
So you throw cash
So
at
who's
them.
available?
So 2 days ago, Carmelo Anthony was available.
Do we still want to pick him up and put him anywhere?
The
Yes,
Lakers picked
very
them
much
up.
so, very much so. These are all people that got picked up.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry, I don't know if you know Kyle Lowry. DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
Who else? Rudy Gay got picked up.
Kemba Walker
Kemba
went to the
Walker went to the
Knicks.
Knicks. Like there's a lot of
Wait, Kim, where did he go?
to the Knicks.
to the
He's from New
Knicks.
York, so he went out to
Oh
the Knicks.
wow, that's good. I remember he used to
Niggas
play
from
for the
New York don't like
Hornets.
the Knicks.
Huh?
Who do they like?
I think everybody from their city likes their home team because you got to go to their games and
I
stuff.
love the Heat.
But I think at the same time you kind of are like, if my home team sucks, I don't know if I want to just play for them.
Right.
But then the way the Knicks franchise is set up, it's like you want to make them niggas better because it's like if I make them niggas better, then I'm that man.
Okay.
I don't like the Heat. Y'all
That
in my
don't work.
division.
I just hope they don't stack them. Teams don't be like.
Oh,
teams
I mean, but you
all
need-
over.
but you
the
need-
Lakers and the Nets already did it.
So many of the best players.
But I think
not
you
even
need
gonna be
that-
There, like that.
Now you need that
Crazy.
because it's like there's teams like that are random as hell, like the Phoenix Suns or like the Utah Jazz that will still bust your ass.
Right.
So it's like, damn, even if you have a stacked team, you still might lose by 20. So like niggas did not have the Milwaukee Bucks winning this year. Niggas had the Nets. And
They
the fact
had the
that
Nets
yes,
over the Lakers.
yes,
Yes.
hell yeah,
Yes.
fuck.
Okay, so what is wrong with the Lakers? I feel like Lakers are.
My nigga LeBron just getting old.
Yeah, he got hurt.
He just getting old,
Got
bro.
hurt against the Hawks.
He's 36.
He's 36.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I
Tom
love
Brady.
that.
Tom Brady just turned 45.
Wait, what?
Tom Brady just turned
That man
45.
is so
He still
good.
got.
But in retrospect, the reason Tom Brady's still playing is because like he doesn't get touched.
And he
Like
doesn't do anything else.
yeah,
So
like
much
no one
Tom
like
Brady.
his offensive line is always going to be better than everybody else because
Yeah.
he just hasn't got touched.
What he does is,
He's
what
just
Tom Brady
having
does
fun.
is he takes a minimum, so the rest of his team can get paid.
Period.
That's how he
That
does
is
it.
a
I believe that.
Whereas-
so it's captain too, right?
Because you know Tom Brady. If you
Tom fucking Brady.
you know if you play with Tom Brady, you probably gonna get a ring or get
Yeah.
close to getting a ring.
But he's also a smart quarterback. He knows I can't win this game by myself. Period. So I need to have the
How
best
long has he been
receivers.
He's been with the Patriots for most. If not
Tom Brady does
all.
not play for the Patriots anymore.
What does he play
Oh.
for now?
Tom Brady literally plays for the
Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They just won the championship last
Yeah.
year.
He got up on stage and everything.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like they tossed the trophy over the
Yeah.
ocean and shit.
Why did they toss?
Because they were in
can do
Tampa
whatever-
Bay.
Yeah, they can do whatever the hell.
They did a water parade, like a boat parade, instead of
Yeah.
a instead of a
that's so
regular.
Florida. I'm telling y'all that right now. That's
Yeah,
some
we know.
Florida shit.
But yeah,
Wait,
that's,
I'm confused. Wasn't he? Where was he before he was with?
he was with the Patriots, you're right?
Patriots,
He was with the Patriots for a majority of. If you're 24, he's
thought
probably with there your
he-
whole life. So all of our whole lives, he's the same way Kobe was basically a Laker for our whole
He
life.
was,
Yeah, he
It's the
was a
same way.
Patriot.
He's a Patriot for our whole life. This is his
Right.
first time being with another team in general.
Yeah.
So
So
is
this is
Tampa
year
Bay going to be good this season?
Yeah.
Definitely,
Yes.
they
Everybody's back.
re-signed everybody.
The whole team.
The whole
Because
team.
he took a pay cut.
Yep.
The whole, all
Even when
starting
he takes a pay cut, he
2022.
still makes a shit ton of money.
So who y'all most excited for?
Yeah, I'm
Football
so
wise?
serious
Football?
about this.
Basketball.
Hawks, of course.
Yeah,
Are you
Hawks
serious?
got this guy
We-
from McEachern. His name is
Yeah.
Sharif Cooper.
Yeah. Ted Cooper's
He's
brother?
Ted Cooper's little brother, and then they got a
Yeah.
little brother too, who's like about to be in college this year.
Yeah.
But the Cooper family, if you like from Atlanta, you know them niggas ball.
Yeah.
So the fact that he gets to come back to Atlanta, and the fact that him and Trae Young get to play together is
Gonna be
lit.
nice.
It's
That's
so
so
lit,
cute.
so lit.
Precious.
And then I think this year the Hawks are gonna actually be like healthy, just fully
Yeah.
healthy.
Yeah.
The only reason they lost to the Bucks last year, they just weren't healthy.
Yep.
So,
Oh
That's
wow.
what
Well, that's exciting. Okay, what's next?
all right, the last thing I think this is Leighton's buzz in his ear because this really is.
Oh yeah, the Facebook metaverse. Yeah, so Mark Zuckerberg is basically building a virtual world. So like you'll create your own avatar, you'll use NFTs and cryptocurrency to engage. If you've ever seen the movie Ready Player One,
So good.
it's gonna be like
What is the movie about?
basically you live in a virtual.
Living in a virtual world because the
Yeah.
because
Is it
the
like
earth
a
because the
Black
regular
Mirror
world
shit?
is
the
like,
regular world is so bad, like
Yeah.
we fucked it up so much, like just everything's done, so they like live in that virtual world now,
Yeah.
like,
Are you
and you
serious?
can feel everything. You wear a
Yep.
suit and you just like
Yep.
everything, but they
Where's
were
the human interaction? Where's the
Through the virtual
you
world.
through the virtual world. So like these are other. So like you might have an avatar, but you can
Another
make
world.
but you
Yes.
can make your avatar like in that movie. You can make your avatar anything, like
Yeah.
anything you
Anything.
want to do.
Are you
So it's
serious?
But you
basically
know-
catfishing.
Yeah, but you know everybody is like on the other side of it,
I mean, we've
a
been
human.
doing it. When you think about it,
You what?
We've been doing it.
People been catfishing for
growing
years
up,
now.
We've had those games. Like,
MySpace time.
You had MySpace, you had
MySpace,
Zoomies, you
yeah.
had
Yeah.
Facebook
Yeah.
had their little games already.
yeah, you had all them shit.
So would you do it?
I would try.
Do we get the option?
Yeah,
What you mean? Option of
What do you
what?
to do it.
I mean, eventually
In
this,
the virtual world?
eventually this is probably gonna be
Or
like,
is this like
No,
a
I
rich
mean-
it's probably gonna start out for the rich and then it's gonna
Yeah.
trickle down.
Yeah.
So like space at this point.
I was gonna think more like how people just treated cars, like, cause you know cars back in the day, rich people had cars,
Sure,
and then,
why
you know,
not?
or big
Or
houses.
space.
You know, now you can have big houses. Space sounds wild because we
Space.
really haven't all got this. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't really.
Would you rather be lost in space or lost at sea?
Lost at sea.
Yeah, Lost at Sea.
I want to hear keys or
Have you
something.
seen? Side note, have you seen the show Lost though?
Yeah, I've seen Lost.
No, I
No,
really
I
haven't
don't watch
seen
Lost.
Lost.
I'm not gonna cap
I've
with
seen
you.
Lost.
You
I
might need to
haven't.
watch that show.
Yeah, that's
I mean, Chantal, don't
Isn't
watch
that like an
Chantal.
older show?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
but
like
it's still
more-
relevant.
yeah,
But Chantal, I don't know
earlier
if you need to watch that show.
2000s.
Why?
Because you be really like into it, and that like it starts
really do
off.
be into my
The joint
shows,
starts
though.
off nutty
Really?
because they're basically lost at sea
That shit's
It's just surviving in,
and they're
in
surviving
our
and
world.
they find out that there's other people and they find out that there's other things there, like.
So if you
Wait,
were
what
lost,
platform
wait,
can I
Key,
watch
would
this
you
on?
rather
It's
be
on
lost
Netflix.
at
I think
sea or
that's on
lost in
Netflix,
space?
I don't know. I just, oh man, I probably lost in space.
I would rather be lost in space.
I mean,
like you said, you could probably find.
but
some
after seeing,
extraterrestrial
that's what I'm saying. After seeing
life
fucking
there,
Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy, it's like it could be anything
be
out there.
anything.
So you could really be sitting there like go outside out of our like Milky Way and find out there's like other universes that just are sufficing like brilliantly, better than we ever thought.
Yeah.
We just think that it's just us because we're just fucking. One more, we're Americans, but then two, we're just like
Selfish.
on Earth, so we're just like main character based.
I feel as though the thing about space, you would just lose sense of time when you're at sea.
But there's no, there's
Yeah,
okay.
sense of time.
The whole point of
we lost
this,
sense of time in the pandemic.
but the whole.
That's true.
The whole point of the phrase time and space is that these two are not intertwined. So like you in space, your time could be different. So like
outside of it,
in-
you're
and
you could go-
outside of the
in- and
constructions
out-
of
in-
so you could go through a
Out-
black hole in space and then end up in 1950 because that timeline doesn't work the same way there. There is no time in space.
Right.
That's why it's called time and space.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, wait. That shit's crazy. So you're saying, do you think there's an ability if
Yeah.
you were in
Yes.
space to do time
To do that,
travel?
yeah,
Yes.
there definitely is. That's
Yo,
where
that shit's
time
insane.
travel really is.
Yeah, I'm definitely choosing lost in
Yeah,
space.
I don't wanna
But
be
that's
lost in
also
space.
but then there's also
For
there's
sure.
There's also the like the
I'm about to go
other
back
side
to
of
the
that where it's
50s.
like you can go through a black hole and end up at 3,000 or 4,000 or whenever the Earth ends. You know what I mean? You don't really know
Never get back.
what's going on, and you
There's-
can't get
there's
back.
more
That's the way this
possibilities
works
than
out.
options
There
than being
are.
lost at sea, where
So lost-
most of the sea is uninhabitable.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
it's like Castaway.
Is it a movie
Exactly.
coming out? I forgot what the movie's name is called, but basically they're like lost at sea, and it's like every second is like a year of your life.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
called
like
it's
that.
called time.
Yo,
No, it's called
that
Old. There it is.
Yeah,
That
Old.
shit looks.
Haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it
It's
yet.
already out?
No, it's the
we didn't
Flintstones.
watch it yet. We didn't watch it yet.
Is
We
it
watched
out
the
yet?
commercial.
I think it is. It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. It hasn't come out yet. Any
No,
side note,
No, but it's a commercial right now. It hasn't come out yet.
it doesn't come out yet. I think it's about to come out. But
Yeah,
time
it's
side
about
note,
to.
anything that M. Night Shyamalan makes
Mm-hmm.
is like science fiction that like warps the brain. So like M. Night Shyamalan was a part of Inception.
I knew you were gonna say that.
What was
So, like,
Inception was about?
Inception was them going in a dream to steal something, but then had to go deeper in the dream and go deeper in that dream. So they were in a dream and a dream and a dream.
No. I don't like my mind hooked like that.
I love
Yeah,
those
don't
movies.
watch it
I just saw a movie.
multiple times.
I just saw a
It
movie.
did come out.
Oh, came out.
It did? But
Yeah.
okay, so
What's it on?
The movie.
It's just like a regular movie. But the thing about it is like that's a crazy concept to think about. It's like every second is like a year of your life or something like that at sea. I mean, it's kind of similar to me as well too, like Manifest. Okay, everybody keeps talking about Manifest. I haven't watched it yet because I just don't want to get engulfed in it because I know I will.
Yeah, you will. It's a good, but
I
it's
will.
okay. The cast of it, the way it's written is good. I'm not gonna warn you though, like, because you're probably not gonna watch it. The way the shit end is like you want another season because it's like you just ended this shit like abruptly. Like
Really?
it should be another season
Like
after that,
cliffhanger
and you just said fuck
series.
it. Such a good show. It's based off an actual plane that like went down in like Vietnam or like in the
Vietnam.
like Asian Pacific area. So like there was a plane that went to Asian Pacific area and they couldn't find it. They still haven't found it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Then there was a lady who
Taiwan.
flew around the world and they didn't find her either. I forgot her name. She's like an older lady.
Was this in the last?
This is like in
60
the 50s.
years?
though. What's her name?
I know what you're talking about. Like,
Her plane is in one of her planes is in the Smithsonian, but that's whatever.
I know what you're talking about.
Fun fact. All right, but so long story short,
can't Google it right now.
Manifest their plane goes deep into they just act like they're just going from Jamaica back home.
There was a Bermuda
The fact
Triangle.
Or
why
is
did
it-
they, why
is it
did they
Bermuda?
pick Jamaica of all
No,
places?
what happens is in the first episode they choose to delay. They choose like a flight voucher. And if they chose the flight voucher,
split,
then
yeah.
they split the family up.
Yep,
and
I
then some of them
remember that.
stayed. So they had twins. One twin
And the government
stayed.
was like playing the game of like, oh, half of the people.
Yeah,
like,
and the government's like, bro, like, what are y'all,
Pieces
like,
of
where's y'all
stuff.
playing at? Like, who are y'all? And they're saying we're these people from this time, and they're like, no, it's like 2014
So
now.
do you think it's possible that could like ever really happen?
Yes.
You could go on a plane and
Yes.
you go through time
Yes,
once you hit a certain area.
yeah, I definitely think it's possible.
So what is the deal with the Bermuda Triangle then?
It's a weird space of
If you're
energy.
near it, around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like
It's different than
So
energy.
for years, like back in the day, there's been like old like ships that have gone through the Bermuda Triangle and never got out.
Yeah.
Same with planes; they've gone through it and never got out. And it's just like there. So some people think it's like another portal there to something else. Some people think it's like if you watch like
Typhoons.
what's the name of that shit? Wonder Woman. Where's she from?
Amazon.
Yeah, they think that could be there because you have to go through that portal. Some
Okay,
people,
Amazon is
yeah, like Amazonians, like their world is like not where other people's shit is at. So it's like you go through a portal and then you got to leave out that same portal, which is like the whole point of like Wonder Woman in the first Wonder Woman.
Wow, I didn't even know that. I never
Okay.
watched it.
So-
Sorry.
Such a good movie, but what the fuck are you doing? All right,
Okay,
The second
I'm
one was
watching
trash.
it.
second one was bad. But anyways, all I'm gonna say is that Bermuda Triangles. There's other places like that in the Asian Pacific as well, because there's a lot of islands in the Asian Pacific that we have never discovered. But we
That's
know that
very
they're
true.
we know that they're there because of space, but no one has ever been there like physically, like on there. So we don't really know what's going on with that shit.
Damn. What's the one show that like really mind messes you up the most?
I just saw this movie called Tenet, and it's about.
Tenet didn't really.
It's about it threw me because it's about time, but it's about instead of like shooting a bullet, you catch it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So
It's a certain metal.
time goes in reverse. So
Yeah.
say you have one thing happening right now, you can set that, play it back in reverse, and watch it happen.
And watch it happen. But you only can watch it happen if there's like a mirror going on at the same time as it happens.
Yeah, that's scary.
So there's a scene where they like shoot a girl. So he watches the bullet already be out of her. And then he's like, why is there bullet holes? And then he realizes that, oh snap, she gets placed on that place and then they pull the bullet out of her.
Yeah.
It's a crazy
This is
movie.
real
To a point
crazy.
to where you can't even breathe. Like when you in reverse, you can't even breathe the air because the air moves one way and you're going the opposite.
Yo,
gotta watch that.
why do these people? How do people come up with these
They're using
movies?
it as warfare though.
Yeah, but now they're trying to use it as like they're trying to use that technology, that space-time technology as warfare.
Of
Yeah.
course they are. Always
Yeah.
but-
So he's trying to. So Denzel
turn
Washington's
something
son is
into
trying to
a
like
weapon.
save the world. It's a fire ass movie. I just saw it this morning. I was shook. I had to rewatch it like half of it because I was like, wait, like
I'm gonna watch it.
just some.
Yeah,
It's the same thing with Inception. Like just a dream and a dream and a dream to steal something,
Yeah.
which is still fire.
What's a movie or show for you, Layton?
Like for right now,
You
I'm
can say always.
I'm still on House of Cards, man. Like,
Fire.
Really still House of
Yes,
Cards.
because it's
So
so
good.
Yes,
It's so good,
It's
and
really
you
good.
learn how much it's just like
It's cut
government is a
lines.
game of philosophy.
Right.
It's
That's
the
all it
Clintons
is.
and the Reagans.
It's
Yeah.
slimy. It's a game.
Yeah.
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 Especially them first two seasons when he's like trying to become the president.
Yes.
Yo,
Oh,
it's-
and he's doing backhanded.
He's like,
backroom.
but he like,
He
ki-
was
like
selling
he basically like kills the
things.
So, like,
senator.
he kills people.
Then he's killing people, but he's
Them
doing it
are
like in a
not
smooth
sports.
way. Like
But I was wondering too if that's like something
Sports
that
is like that.
happens within
No
like
facts.
the realm of politics.
It definitely does.
It
It definitely
Stuff
does.
like that.
Definitely.
I mean, it's just business as a whole. Like it's a game of war. So
Somebody tried to shoot a judge's house up.
yeah,
Killed his son.
yeah.
Definitely
Oh
have seen
yeah,
shit.
I did hear about that.
Like we have whole what's the name like the whole concept of like the government with like lobbyists where they can just like basically buy rules and buy laws for you and shit like that. Like so niggas already know like this is wild.
Conspiracy theorists, I really feel as though they may be on to something. There has to be because there's so many conspiracies. There has to be something.
I think some of them are real
There has to be
because they're
something.
just so outlandish.
Yeah.
It's just some are
So
just also
specific.
just outlandish.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
Check out House of Cards. You'll like it.
Yeah,
I
it's
watched
crazy.
it. I watched House of Cards like back in the day, but I don't know.
Can't keep up with it.
Yeah, I couldn't keep up with it.
The
I
more you
couldn't.
watch it after, and the more you think about it after, like this Trump, like,
it's-
you really are like, whoa, this was really,
Going on.
yeah,
This
Yeah.
is real.
instantly, and you could tell it was going on.
I think what was probably, I mean, Handmaid's Tale, I tried to really get along with it for like a couple of seasons, but I don't know about that one. It kind of got to a point where I'm like, yo, this could be too real for me. I do not want to watch it anymore at this point.
I think Handmaid's Tale is
Handmaid's
just
Tale.
wasn't it? It's
Well, I
just too
stopped
wild.
watching it too. Only
I was just
because
like,
Shorty is dumb. She keeps
she
going
is.
back.
She does. But I do think there is something to be said psychologically about how when you go through trauma and when you are, disattached from that trauma, a lot of times, if that's all people ever knew their entire life, they'll either crave it, miss it, or try to put themselves in that position again. And it's just like a continuing cycle. Like that is a psychological
Stockholm
thing.
syndrome.
No, dead ass. Like that is a psychological
It's an
fact.
interesting ass show.
No, yeah.
I had to stop
The
every
thing
time
about
I.
It was really popular during Trump era.
Every time I watch it, I
Because
stop.
it's something that
But
really
it started.
scared me.
It started like
That's why I
right.
had to stop watching it.
I think it started like the year we kind of like switched over to Trump.
Right.
So it was like, yo, like I think that's what it really was. Like the
It
basically-
felt like foreshadowing
yeah,
for a moment.
like yeah. So you sitting there like, yo,
Deadass.
what? Because everyone remember we was joking around when Trump got elected. We like, oh, we finna go back to slavery. Like we're joking about that
No,
shit.
People were scared. Yeah,
But it's
they were
like that's
scared.
really what what's going on in some people's like heads, some people's minds, and then of course now you manifest it into a TV show to make people just propaganda, easy propaganda.
No, for real.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of times Hollywood is making us not do the things that we could end up doing. So I think a lot of these shows are telling us like, if you act this kind of way, we'll end up here.
Facts.
And so we don't end up there because now we've seen what happened.
Key, what's yours? Would it be Handmaid's Tattoo?
TV show that messes you up,
Oh, a TV show. Shoot, a TV show that messes me up. I don't think I watched a TV
or
show.
a movie,
that's
or it could be a movie.
or a movie that's messed me up. Man, that's tough. I haven't watched a movie or a TV show like that in a long time. Like a mind fuck kind of TV show. I like the feel good shows.
Me too.
They make me feel good.
I like those. I think everybody likes
heard
those.
of the
bro, I
movie?
just started
Oh my
hate
God, hold
Arnold
on, run it back.
Where?
Sorry.
Where?
American Horror Stories.
Oh, no,
That
I cannot
is
watch
my
that.
show.
What?
But
No,
this
I
one,
can't do that.
American Horror Stories,
I can't do that.
it's like the first 3 episodes about Rubber Woman, where they move in, this family
I hate
moves
this.
into a notorious
I
haunted
hate
house.
scary shit.
Why would they do? See, no. Let me ask you something.
They-
Why would they do that?
Anything
Because
scary, I just
haunted
hate it.
houses sell. People actually like
People like haunted
shit.
houses. People like haunted
They love
hotels.
it.
People like
They
love that
will
shit.
put money into
Are you
it.
serious?
White people, I don't want to
so-
say, yeah, we'll just say white people. White people love that shit because they like, because white people like
Love fear.
adventure.
They
Like
need
white people
to
like
have
adventure.
Yo, somebody
They
told me
love
the
all
other
that.
day, sometimes we do think otherwise, like they need something to fear.
They need something to endure. They want to be on the edge. Black
Yeah.
Something to excite
Black
them.
people live.
Their life is just
If you black,
so
you live on the
bad.
edge every day. Black people live on the edge
Black
every day.
people live on the
You
edge
be- to a
every
point
day.
where
Right,
you,
so they're
the
not
mundane is
interested
scary.
in
Yeah.
watching stuff like
True,
that.
yes.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
What?
Police pull me over. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
that's my horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need no damn. I don't need no
But
damn
that
fighting.
show
shit.
is a mindfuck, actually. American
So they
Horror
moved
Stories.
into the haunted house.
So they
and
moved
just
into
have-
this haunted house because they're house flippers. They rebuilt the house, and their intention was to flip it and sell it for
More.
a price over the market. Exactly. But during their time, of course, haunted shit starts to happen. Like their daughter, who they found out is really into like sadistic, like porn and everything.
Oh.
She puts on a rubber suit that keeps coming back into her closet, and when she's possessed by something, when she puts the rubber suit on and starts killing everybody, and killing like these girls who bullied her from school, and she kills them brutally, in such a brutal way, and so that's.
What are these
and they
producers
all
on
end
these
up,
shows doing?
and they all end up stuck in the house.
I didn't even
like
know this. I didn't even know this.
They
at all.
don't pass over into
Oh,
like
my
paradise or
God.
heaven or whatever you call it, but it's like they're stuck in the middle between life and death, and they can actually touch you as well and kill living people.
That is
And
not-
you're just
Like
stuck
stuff
in a
like
house.
that. See,
You
that's
could've-
why I do
And you
not
only
watch
get to
that
come
show.
out
I'm
once-
scared.
Why you
once
ain't
a year,
stop?
Scared.
Halloween.
Okay, I'm scared.
Why you ain't stop?
Hey, yo,
I'm
Key, you
scared,
okay?
scared.
I'm good. Hold on, but listen, that was only 3 parts, and then they move on to another horror story where this guy.
Don't tell me the other one. Wait,
This
I
guy
don't want to hear
created a
this shit.
movie, and
Oh
if you
my God.
if you watch the movie, like you'll start turning into
It's a monster.
some kind of monster and start just killing everyone. After
But
Okay,
watching the movie.
anyways.
It's based off The Exorcist, though. That's it.
It's based off of what?
The Exorcist. He put some shit in the frames, so when you see the movie, it makes your stomach twitch.
Right.
So they took that and put it in like a horror story. So it's based off of the actual Exorcist, because he actually
Just
did that shit.
possessed.
I hate that. That
I hate that. I hate
So
that
that's
for
what I'm
us.
Yeah.
I hate that for us.
Watch it, it's good.
No, I ain't watching that shit.
I watched that night. I
Okay,
swear to
so
God, I
we're
did have
gonna
to
talk.
turn
No.
every lights on.
Hey,
You
I
have
started
to
Hey
turn
Arnold
off.
again,
I
man.
have to turn on every light TV.
Hey,
Ooh,
hey,
no.
Hey, wait, did y'all watch Hey Arnold growing up?
Yes.
I started that again on Hulu.
Yes.
Smooth
Does it
show.
still hit the same?
It's
Oh,
still
yeah,
his.
It's real.
Okay, so I do want us to talk a little bit more about
Of course she said that shit.
how famous like storytellers, how they depict black stories.
Okay.
Specifically, I feel as though one Issa Rae to Tyler Perry. There are a couple of people. who talk
Lena
Nope.
Ray,
Them, us,
Lena
what's his
Waithe,
name?
no.
Jordan Peele.
Jordan
His
Peele,
movie, Nope. His movie, Us, yes.
Those are interesting.
Lena.
I mean,
what is it?
Lena Waithe.
Lena Waithe.
Yeah, she's good.
I heard Shy got renewed as well too. So I
It
know
is
she's
such
super excited.
a good show. Such
The
a
thing about Issa and her writing, and what I love about Issa, is if you even look at Awkward, I just feel like she's just able very well to write off things that we find very relatable. Such vibes of Girlfriends. I'm telling you, Girlfriends was such a relatable show for all of us growing up. And it's so crazy because when we were watching Girlfriends when it originally came out, we were like young teens.
Right.
And we still could relate to it.
Shit is not relatable at all.
What? Girlfriends?
Hated Girlfriends.
Well, Girlfriends
You're not
isn't
the
meant
William
for
of your
you.
Not at all.
But Girlfriends really wasn't meant
I
for
think
you.
I think that's
I'll
one
be
thing I didn't
honest
like.
with you.
First of all, I didn't appreciate that. Like I just definitely not the William in my group. But then I think too, like
You don't think you're William?
I definitely don't, cause that nigga nuts. And he-
How is Will nuts?
William's on some nutty shit every time, bro.
You really think so?
Yeah, cause it's like it'd be better if like William had his own kind of like life, but his life kind of sometimes centered around them, and it's like, bro, like what's going on?
Those
with
are
you?
his friends.
Until you got to a certain point
And
where
he did have his own life. He had his
until you got to a
place,
certain
he
point
had
where
his
he,
own place,
but
had
until you
his
got to
own
a certain
girls.
point, he was like, all right, now I got to get my own. Like the
Shit.
first 2 seasons, it was like centered around them, and then he was like, all right, now I gotta get my own shit together, and it's like, nigga, you should have been at like whatever.
I think every guy
He did
still
have his
needs.
shit together.
He
No,
did have shit together,
I
but he just had
think
to get his
every
own
guy
life.
still needs a core group of other guy friends.
You think so?
Yes,
Do
because
you like
as a
to hang out
guy,
with women made him feel good.
Yeah.
I support that too because I
Conversations.
feel the same way sometimes. But it's like I still have Leighton, I still have Damani, I still have my other like high school friends, like middle school friends, and I'm like, bro, I still talk to them.
So
Cause
is
you
it that
need that shit
all
too.
feel okay? So what is your kind of take on people who have like who don't have that core set that are of the same sex as them?
You gotta get both sides.
yeah, you have to.
Cause you
have
need
to have a
both
balanced
sides, cause it's gonna give you a different perspective on
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah,
Like if you just have if you're a woman and you just have a bunch of women friends, y'all gonna like just,
y'all gonna always have
That's
a woman's
me.
perspective.
and then y'all always gonna sometimes like manipulate a thought that might not really. Y'all gonna take a thought to 10 when it really could be a 2.
I don't know about that one.
I enjoy hanging around all women.
I mean, not saying it's not good, but just saying
it's
like
crazy
the
how
fact
y'all
that you
become
have
your own example.
the
bro.
fact
It's
that y'all
crazy.
have a man, like the fact that you
Yeah.
have a man in that life, like it kind of helps you out with like, okay, like maybe that's what men do. It's not just like a
I
thing
mean,
that you
I'm
think
sure
of.
it's good for perspective. You know,
Well,
Not
of
even
course.
that, but just
very
like,
cute.
But bump perspective, it's just like it could be just a way of life to how men live, or vice versa. Like me having a lot of women friends, I don't think of things when women are like, why she do that? I'm like, maybe that's just how women are.
Do you like how Tyler Perry portrays men?
Not at all.
No, not at all.
Especially if you're my skin color.
Good job.
If you're my skin color and you're a man in Tyler Perry movies, you either beat women, you hate women, you're gay on the low,
You're broke.
you're broke.
Broke as hell.
There's no good representation.
There's no good representation of black men, bro.
And I wonder. Well, I mean, I know it's also too because look, you got to think about his audience. His audience is mostly female from the beginning.
Facts, but it's
always
like,
been that.
bro,
So he
like,
caters to his audience too.
but women always say niggas ain't shit, but will still deal with a nigga. So it's like Tyler Perry doesn't get that concept
well,
because he'll still
This
just
is
make niggas ain't
really
shit.
interesting.
what?
Because if that's his target audience, then that says a lot about how
When
women-
black women think about
Yeah,
us,
that's really what it says.
that's really what it says.
Black women interact with men outside of a TV show every day.
Every day.
And these ideas weren't created out of thin air.
They're not. That's what I'm saying. But what we're saying is that because it's on a television show,
what you're
it's
saying.
the
You're
same
saying
way we
it's a
always.
reflection of actual reality.
TV's always a reflection of whatever's going on in life. Always.
You'll
Never
be
matters.
surprised how much you carry yourself like what you watch on TV.
Period.
I mean,
So
that's kinda
with
surprising.
that being said, it's like, damn, is this how the mass majority of black women feel about black men?
Cause y'all watching it.
I mean,
And
that-
enjoying
would
it.
be
But
different if y'all
it's deeper
showed
than
us
just-
something different.
A lot of men do.
I'll be real.
That's all I'm saying. A lot of men do. Now I get that. I get that every woman may have to go through their like Tyler Perry-esque ass nigga, right? But then,
it's like
but
every
then
woman has gone
also there's
Yeah,
other.
It's not just me
Every
or
woman
the,
has
the,
Yeah.
the guys.
And I feel like
surround
if-
myself
'cause
with,
if-
but it's me, my friend, their friends. It's
No, the issue
and
is
we're
that-
all
no,
just-
the-
exactly.
But if we
But
switched
if you
it,
talk to men, every man you know has gone
Through
through
that-
a good woman.
and
I
a
feel
bad
like it's
woman
the
as well.
opposite.
They experience
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
facts. But we don't have a show where we're just like depicting y'all as like she's a good woman and then I cheated, or I just did this and
Well,
that.
why don't y'all go ahead and make shows?
Why don't you
like
guys
that?
make a movie?
'Cause y'all wouldn't
Liam,
watch
would
it.
Would you make a movie? With
So anyway,
Ron?
all right, y'all. So
Thank you.
we got on this topic because I sent a text to the chat. So it's a YouTube video where this black guy, he talks about how Issa Rae, she writes black men in a way that no one else writes black men, right?
Period.
And she shows the complexity of a black queer man, the black man who's husky, like he's not the typical tall, buff set, the nerd, the beta male, the
Yeah.
nerd, the alpha male who's an asshole, like all those different things. And what's unique about the show is the main character has a sexual relationship with all these guys, even a black man who has mental illness problems, right? Like he has bipolar disorder. So I brought it up in the chat because I'm like, all right, let's talk about this. So for me, I love Insecure. That's actually it might be my favorite show. And it is because of the character Lawrence, right?
I love
Lawrence's character is,
Love Lawrence.
he's the good guy who he chooses to act like an asshole because he thinks that's what he has to be
Period.
to make it. And it's not just his guy friends, it's the women he's around too. They want him to be that. And so as you watch, what, season, it's 4 seasons?
Now we're on 4, yeah.
Yeah, so like, as you go through the seasons, you see him grow, and you see him become like, he's basically like, yo, like, I don't even have to be that asshole dude. But I brought it up because for me, I feel like Issa Rae wrote a character that really speaks to my soul. So
I want him to have his own show.
What's the
Like,
show?
I always say that shit.
Oh, yeah.
I want
I want him in
a
his
A show just for Lawrence and
Yeah,
like
and
his
his
friends
friends,
would be
perfect.
fucking hilarious.
for y'all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's like you
Yeah.
only get to see snippets of his friends, but every time you see snippets of his friends, y'all niggas like we're always laughing about snippets of his friends.
Yeah.
Like we're always laughing. Like even the gas station scene when they're just like, oh shit, like,
So what
or
type
when
of-
Issa goes to the house and she's like, oh, what the fuck you doing in my house? But hey, what's up, Issa?
So what conversations would you be looking forward to if there was a spinoff?
I feel like 1, mental health, black men
Right.
mental health. I feel like 2, the insecurities that black men have when it deals with jobs. Because remember, Lawrence didn't have a job for a little while.
Body positivity among men.
Period. I think the way we interact with each other,
Yeah.
just the way black men interact with each other, because like you really don't see that often.
You don't.
Like
on TV.
Yeah, like show like the questions about like like me and my friends will ask each other about what we're wearing. Like, yo, how do you feel about this haircut? How do you feel about these shoes I just got? Or
Wait, y'all really do that?
Yeah,
Yes.
men ask about that stuff.
Just like women?
Yes.
Look how much we have in common.
Men, both sexes have a lot in common. I think both of us choose to be
No,
or
y'all
different.
just decide to hide it.
We don't hide it. I think we just talk to our friends about it.
Or like to simplify what they do when we ask them, we just sit around and talk about.
Yeah, but that's also 'cause we
talk
know-
about sports and
Because when I do tell y'all what we talk about, y'all be like, whatever.
yeah.
That's not true.
No, that's not true.
Y'all do this. Oh, we
Women are-
have this conversation all the
Like
time.
when we're curious
Whenever-
about that.
whenever-
Yeah, child, we want insight
When men be
on
trying to
y'all.
tell y'all, when men be trying to really tell y'all
We
feelings
do
and shit,
actually like
y'all sometimes be
y'all.
like, y'all
Oh,
like,
we know y'all like
we
us.
know you like us, but it's like when y'all, when we trying to tell feelings and shit, y'all be like, and then y'all be like, okay, I guess
No,
we
you're
have
not
feelings.
happy with Ben. Keep playing.
So we cool with it. So we just be like, all right, whatever. But I think Issa's fire. Lawrence should definitely
Yeah.
have his own show though.
He
Like
definitely
he
You really
definitely
think
should.
so?
Yes.
Or a character similar to Lawrence based off of like that stuff.
Yeah.
Cause that's a real life. Like everything that Lawrence goes through is like a real life
Yeah.
things, and it's so
Tweet
funny.
Issa, she responds.
Tweet her. She would respond to.
She would respond.
She'd be like, nah, we're not giving the nigga a show. Respectfully, we not. Like we just not.
Right.
Respectfully, we not doing that.
Facts.
I mean, I think it's crazy to your point, Lay, like how, just looking at television and how that does impact our lives and how we see ourselves in characters. Like that is actually a crazy thought. Because I always go back to Girlfriends. Like I always go back to Girlfriends because I'm just like, growing up, Girlfriends was like a cornerstone of a show I feel like kind of grew up with. It's like that, That's So Raven. What else was there? It was That's
Living
So Raven.
Single.
Living Single. A Different World, but A Different World to me was a little bit before.
It's more,
Yeah.
it's more collegiate.
Yeah, and I couldn't relate. It's crazy how we couldn't relate to that, but we relate to Living Single and Girlfriends.
Who couldn't
I
relate?
love that. Yeah.
I've related to.
I related to Different World a lot.
Yeah,
They
that
got a lot of
drumline.
topics.
They did.
I think what's the name? I think we talked about like Issa Rae and Tyler Perry. I think two people that do it very well, like black writing, is like Lena
Yeah.
and Donald Glover. Even though Donald Glover doesn't really get his like full
Is
like
Atlanta
flowers.
still on?
Yeah, it's coming back.
coming
It's coming
back.
back. So like the reason I like both of these shows because it's both of those like
You're real.
their writers is because they're basically like really real, but they're talking about their like growing up experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So like being from an inner black city, you're like, yeah, I get that. Even if you like watch The Chi, like I love The Chi.
I love the show.
So it's
I haven't
like
run into
the
it.
fact
I
that you
tried.
spin it and it's like really off of Marcus, and then you spin it, and then now it's about
Yes,
these kids that
about
are growing up,
kids.
and you really see because we have friends who are from Chicago growing up, and we're like, yeah, like that's really how they grew up. They were telling us this, and I think with Atlanta's just so, like I hate to say it, but it's just so Atlanta. Like it's just how you really grew up, like how me and Layton grew up, like for real. Like it's niggas acting like they country as hell. Then you might go to the mall try and get this. Then it's like niggas trying to get a job, trying to do this. Like it's so many. Then their barbers suck, but you got to keep going to this barber because you don't know where else to go. Like
Loyalty.
It's
Yeah.
so many other things that
Very
that
relatable.
happen with Atlanta, and it's so relatable because it's like that's the city you from. Like you
Yeah.
know what's going on there.
I think why these shows do so well though especially with the desired population, is because you got to think who's in the writers' room. It's people who are very good at getting other individuals in the room that have experienced those things to come in, talk about their experiences, play those roles where they can relate to it. I think that's what makes the difference is you get a writer's room of people who kind of like get it.
Yeah.
It's not just a writer's room of people, one, that couldn't even identify, i.e. white, with the experience. But two, it's just, you know, people who are younger who get it and can say, oh, yeah, no, that shit's correct.
And
That's
I think it's also just really good storytelling. Like being able to really just tell a story like from memory of like what really happened to me. Because these experiences are so real to them. They're like, if I tell you the whole story, can you start adding in elements? Like, can you start adding in these character elements and this comedy? Can you start adding in this drama? But to me, it's just like, this is a regular story about me
Just
going to get
exaggerating your
shoes, but I need you to exaggerate it to where
Right.
now it's a TV show.
Yeah. I feel like, what's a good show that's like multi-dimensional like that, where we're like, oh shit, we could see this perspective, but it's actually deeper than that, other than The Shy.
Insecure as well.
Insecure,
Snowfall.
A Different World, Snowfall. You went just black shows?
I was gonna say like all the black shows.
Any non-black shows that people watch?
What non-black show do I
so.
watch?
They're like multi-dimensional like that.
I guess Manifest.
Manifest.
It's this show I watch on Netflix called Marco Polo. It's about Marco Polo and his
I gotta finish
life.
that. Yeah, that's really good.
But it's based off of like him. It's if you like history, like I'm in love with history, so I love stuff like that.
Have you guys
Have
ever
you seen Betty?
Yeah.
Betty's a good
Oh,
show.
Betty
Betty's a good
Betty
show.
with the Spanish girl, The Office. Even though The Office is like a funny show, like
Betty is
it's
good.
so multi-dimensional.
So people love The Office.
Because it's so
Y'all love The Office.
it's a comical way of how you would expect The Office to be, but then it's so multidimensional because like after like season 3, you start going into everyone's life.
Y'all know about Betty.
Yeah,
Y'all really? Betty? Do you also know?
It's
Do
on
you guys
ABC
remember the
show.
Ugly Betty?
yeah, Ugly Betty.
That's what you're talking
That's not the
about.
Betty.
Which Betty you talking
That's
about?
a
Is it called Betty? It's
I was about
the
they
show
were
on
talking
HBO is
about
about the
Ugly
girls
Betty.
that skate.
Oh, you talking about the Betties? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Betties,
Okay,
yeah.
he's talking about one
It's a
too.
skate show on HBO.
Okay,
it's
so
about
it's
girl
a
skaters.
skate show.
But I was talking about both. I've seen both shows, so
You
both shows
seen
are fine.
both? I mean, I messed with Ugly. I
Shit.
like comedies
Lovecraft
that can
Country.
really love.
Lovecraft Country is multidimensional.
It is. It just,
But I think it's
ended-
just-
it ended pretty.
It just has a southern twang to it, and they
Yeah,
only
it does.
want to. It didn't get renewed.
It just wasn't connecting dots for me. The shit was just.
It was. I think it was really
outlandish.
doing what TV's supposed to do. It was making people
you
uncomfortable.
scared and
No,
making you think.
fuck scared. It was making you
What?
uncomfortable. And once I make white people uncomfortable, we gotta go.
Lovecraft
Easy.
doesn't make you scared. That thing was scary.
I think it was.
We
It
would
wasn't.
watch together,
It wasn't
was
scary because it was like. Because it was scary because it was just so like outlandish.
Yeah,
But
it
but
literally
every
was.
show that was
So
so
crazy.
outlandish, based off of a concept that black people automatically say, like the fact that you have this elixir that she drinks and then it makes her white. People think about that all the time. Like we joke and be like, "Damn, I wonder what it's like to be white for a day,
Yep, that's
for an hour. Let's see what it's like to be
Jigaboos are
white."
Crazy though.
That's true. No,
Yeah.
that was insane.
Jigaboo was wild. I hated that
Jigaboo
episode.
was
But
cool.
besides
Ooh,
that,
Jigaboo was scary.
besides that, everything else was cool.
That was so scary.
So yeah, I think it's still fire. I think it's still a fire show. I just think
Do you
you
guys
gotta figure it
remember? There's like a couple of. Oh, go ahead.
Do y'all watch the Dave? Y'all watch Dave?
Yeah,
I like Dave.
Oh.
Dave is good.
Season 2 good?
Dave's on Hulu.
Dave
I
is
love
good.
Dave.
Season 2 good.
It's good. Yeah.
It's good.
It makes me a little upset because Dave is continuing, and then it's like, where's Atlanta? But it's like I'm just gonna
Right.
let Dave.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna let Dave like do his thing. But it's like, to me personally, he's not a good rapper. So it's like we're just
He's
off of
like
this.
a-
He's off of this because he's a comical rapper.
And Kevin Hart's behind this. He produces it.
Yeah.
He does.
He does.
Heart Productions. Okay.
So he's more. It's more of him being a comedian than him being an
Him
actual
coming
rapper.
up, like just him coming up, I thought, and he bases off episodes that's actually happened to him, like the XXL one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's good, but I didn't even think about like, oh, they do continue on, but not Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like they're quicker with it.
Yeah, because you send it like, yo, what's up with that? And then the concept of like FX always only does like main character shows.
They
So
do,
like
yeah,
FX's shows are like based on main character, and then everyone else fits
Everyone's
in that.
just a
Fits in the
side.
mold.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
you have a
right,
storyline,
right.
you fit in the mold,
Yep,
right?
they do.
So the fact that like you kind of like, damn, like your comparison for FX for like Little Dicky is Atlanta. Like that's literally your comparison on a black or white scale.
Yeah.
So it's like the fact that like I get 2-3 seasons of this shit. not to be rude because I like Lil Dicky, but like still 2 or 3 seasons of this shit, and I'm like, I'm still watching season 1 of this fucking shit, laughing my ass off. Like, what the fuck?
You know what I think is crazy to always see on television too is like black families. Like, do you guys remember that show Half and Half?
Yep.
What is
Do you
that?
guys remember that?
I remember
You've
it.
never watched Half and
I
Half?
actually just started My Wife and
That
Kids.
dynamic
You
of
seen
Half and
okay?
Half
So
is
I
two
started My Wife and Kids,
two
I just
shows
started
that show
listening.
real black family, My Wife and Kids,
Yeah.
and the Carmichael Show.
But
Yeah.
no. Half and Half is showing a different
A
level.
blended family.
So
Yeah, there's a
basically,
lot of
what the
blended
show is
families.
about.
They like half white,
is-
half black. Something.
No. So basically, what the show is about, it starts off with 2 sisters. So one sister is older. Her name's Mona.
Oh, that's the
And
show
then
that's
the
on
younger
Netflix.
sister that's Dee. Yeah.
With the girl that,
Dee Dee,
that everybody
little
thinks
Dee
it's
Dee.
Tamara Mowry,
there-
but not Tamara.
No, that's a
No.
very unique. It actually gave me sister, but in a modern term
Right.
too.
She the older one, is
Because
the younger
there's
one,
an
right?
older,
and they both
there's a
brown.
younger, and then there's the
They both
mothers,
share the daddy.
and they both share a father.
Yeah, but they got different moms, right?
Yeah, they got
Okay.
different moms.
I know this show. I remember this show.
And then
Yeah.
it's funny
So
to
he
look at the
owns the apartment
similarities.
building, and he
Yeah.
puts them both in it because he wants to see both
He's
of
an
the daughters.
investor. He's really big in real estate.
Don't they live together, some shit like that? Or
No,
they-
she
live
lives
in
on
the
the
same-
top
Oh,
floor,
okay.
and her.
But
older
even
sister's
that
on the bottom
dynamic,
floor.
no, the dynamics
So-
of the show are insane to think about because there's one daughter who you think grew up. She was the firstborn.
She's like rich.
And no.
The younger one
The older daughter is not. So she's she came up with her dad and she was raised by her mother.
Yeah.
She didn't really see her dad like that in her life.
Okay.
And then the younger sister had both her parents in her life.
Right.
Yeah.
And then originally the mother starts off thinking, no, your daddy was stolen from me. The younger woman, da 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 da. But you think that the dynamic that we've always known from like Tyler Perry's movies, Daddy's Little Girl stuff, is the baby mamas can never get along. In this show, they have a bickering relationship, but they get along very well. They're very similar.
Yeah.
They don't get along very well, but I like the dynamic seeing them go back and forth. It's really unique.
They don't
to
get
me.
along at all.
That reminds me
They
of one
don't
other
get
one.
along, but they have respect
That's
for
what
each
I
other.
think.
No,
Such a
they
good
don't.
show.
They jab
I
at
do
each other
think
every
they do.
single
That's
time.
another-
I really think
okay,
as
there
the
was-
seasons progress, they
They
have
jab at each other
no.
every single chance.
Hey,
They
there was
have
two
respect for each
shows
other, though,
on
especially their
TV
children.
One.
They like each other's children. Like they never, whatever they feel for each other,
shows on
they
You
TV.
know
never.
how rare that is?
That is
All of
very
Us.
rare.
That's so rare. What?
There was 2 shows on TV One. All of Us is the one with
All
Was
of
it
us
TV one or
with,
was it when they were
Dwayne,
NBC?
Dwayne Martin.
yeah.
What show?
What's Lisa Ray was in it? Lisa Ray was the mom.
No.
yes,
No.
All of Us.
No.
Yes.
No.
That's what it's called. It's just All of Us.
It
That's
was-
I know the hook. It's All of Us.
Dwayne-
Then the other one
With
is
Dwayne
then the
Martin.
other one is One on One, and One on One is the one with Kyla
Pratt.
Pratt.
All of
Blacks.
Us is the
And
woman
Penny,
from Martin.
Tisha, I mean.
No, that's
no.
that's My Wife and
My Wife and
Kids.
Kids. Oh,
We
my
telling you what it
Back on
is.
Hulu.
Which is back on Hulu. You can watch
it
it
good?
again. It's good as hell.
Right.
It's good as hell.
I can't
Okay, so
remember.
so
If I
side
watched
note.
all of those growing up, I don't remember them anymore.
Anything
like
that the Wayans really have like produced
Yes.
and wrote
No, it's
is
phenomenal.
it's
It's
comical
phenomenal.
gold.
Yeah.
Because they even wrote like Scary Movie 1 and 2 and all these scary
So
movies.
good.
And you forget that they wrote them because they're in the first 2 doing just next
Go watch In Living Color too.
In Living Color was
Way better than
hilarious.
SNL.
Way
It
better.
popped off
Because they had Mike Myers, they had Jamie
It popped
Foxx.
up everyone's
What's his face?
Jennifer
White
Lopez.
dude. White dude.
J-Lo,
Carrey.
J-Lo was
Jim
dancing in
Carrey.
it. Jim
Jim
Carrey was
Carrey.
in it.
Yeah.
Are they still producing and doing anything?
Who?
The
Wayans?
Wayans. Now the
it's the
sons,
son. It's the
now the
son.
sons
Yeah.
and the nephew. So now the sons and then the guy who played Junior in the
Yeah.
show,
Yes.
they're all now their own production company too. So now they do the other stuff.
And the
one
son just
show
had a
I do-
movie on
I
Netflix
do
that
like
came
that.
out. That was pretty good.
One of them is with Essence Atkins, and it's on Netflix. You know what show I'm talking about?
Marlon.
When I tell you,
Yeah, I like
love
Marlon. Marlon's really good.
Hey, you seen that other?
Funny.
You see-
I love Essence.
What's the other
What's
show?
that drama she was on? What's that drama she was on BET? And it was like, her.
I know it.
Oh
because
my
I'm
God,
Essence.
y'all! She was on this drama on BET, and it's actually pretty damn good.
Have
With
you
the dude,
seen-
with the dude from Run the Yard. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Stop
Stop the Yard or something like that.
Not Columbus.
Short.
Columbus Short.
No.
Yeah,
The
what's
other
that?
one. The other
I
one.
don't know the other one name. I know Columbus Short.
Oh my God, what is that?
From Stump the Yard.
Ambitious. Ambitious.
I don't know what that is.
Ambition.
Hey, you seen the
Ambitions
show?
is a good ass show.
You seen the show with Mike Epps?
No, I heard that's funny.
Yo. All right, so
I
Mike
got it.
Epps has a
Wait, can I
family.
say something about Ambitious first too?
We've
No.
never seen that show.
Y'all, it's actually really interesting. Okay,
None of
go
us have
ahead,
seen
and
it.
then I'm dead ass
All
gonna
right,
talk
there's
about
a show on Netflix with Mike Epps. If you don't know Mike Epps, Mike Epps is a comedian. He's in the Friday movies. He's
Everybody
hilarious.
loves him. His
15.
wife is
He's hilarious.
beautiful.
He's
His
hilarious.
family's
So
37.
is him and the lady from I don't know her name, but she's from In Living Color. I mean, not in Living Color. She's from Living Single. The one who's
Oh, their
Who
new
dates,
show.
who
Yes,
date-
she
yeah.
plays.
Wait, who does she date?
Oh, I know what you're talking
I
about.
know
I know
exactly
what
she's
you're
the
talking
young-
about. She was on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I know
Oh,
who
I
you're
didn't know
talking
that.
about.
Oh, I know.
she
She's the
was.
bougie one.
she's the bougie one.
Tootie,
Rich-
Tootie.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tootie.
Tootie.
She- Tootie.
Kim Whitfield.
Kim Whitfield.
Kim
Yeah, I
Fields.
was
Kim Fields.
I was
job.
surprised with her on
Kim Fields.
Kim
Housewives.
Fields. Kim Fields.
I was surprised with her on Housewives
They
because she
they
was like
tried
very
to, no,
family
they tried to mess up.
oriented.
No. They
So-
tried to mess up her career.
So
She
they're
shouldn't have
together.
been on
So they're
Housewives. I don't
together.
know why she did that.
They're
That's
married,
horrible.
but Mike Epps has another kid, a son,
Yes.
by
it's
this other
so
lady. I forgot.
good.
She's in the lady who was in the game.
yes,
she's
The
in the game.
Game,
She
The
was the one
Game.
that got Derwin pregnant.
Yes.
The one who got pregnant by Derwin first. I love how I know all these people. That's how black people know
my
people.
God.
Black people know people off of shows.
Real.
Black
We
people don't
didn't
even know people
talk
off of
about the
names.
game. We didn't even talk about the game. Is something different.
We
That's
not
a whole
that. We don't need
episode.
that. All right. So, anyways,
Oh my gosh.
so they're together, and he has a son with the lady, and the son's older, but then he also has this
Yeah.
a child
She
by
has two
Kim.
kids by
by
Kim.
Kim. So the son and the daughter are the same age, so they ghetto twins, but they don't know they're ghetto twins. They haven't figured that shit out.
Wait, for real?
Ghetto twins are like if you're born the same year.
Upshaws. That's the show.
That's the show.
That's the show. The Upshaws.
Upshaws.
And then they got a little one. They got a little one. She's like maybe like 7 or 8. So they like 11. They 7 or 8. And then they just living life. But he's just like being a dad, but being mischievous, like who Mike Epps would be, which is just like making mistakes, trying to figure shit out. But it's hilarious because it's like the rest of the cast is just like feeding off of him. But of course he's the main character. Hilarious.
How's that different from Jamie Foxx show?
Cause Jamie Foxx ain't got no family. I mean,
But I
he had a
love
family,
that.
but he ain't got no kids.
This new one that
Oh,
he has
with the
his
kid, with the daughter.
Yeah.
That shit's funny
What's the
too.
new show?
He got it's on Netflix. He has a daughter. It's just him and his daughter, and he got the grandparents, and they all,
raising her.
and he's raising her in Atlanta. He's like a millionaire, and he's raising her, but he's trying to date too and shit.
called?
I forgot that show's called.
Oh, you said Jamie Foxx?
Jamie Foxx. I don't know what it's called.
I'm gonna look it up.
It's funny though. It's funny.
Upshaws and Marlon give me the same vibe.
And
Bro,
there's-
Marlon. When I tell you, Marlon makes me laugh so freaking hard, more than Upshaws.
I gotta watch that joint.
Marlon's
And I
funny.
Is it
know
funny?
because
No,
they,
Marlon's
I know
funny.
they're
Because it's
learning
him.
how to
It's him.
Okay.
Like he's
I love
he's
it.
funny.
Oh my God, it's
Like,
so
Marlon's funny.
freaking good.
And he makes his money off of
Yeah.
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
He's a YouTube, a grown ass
Yo,
man.
there was a show that I'm so mad it's not a show anymore.
What?
It was called Keenan.
oh, Keenan
Oh.
was.
Keenan was so good the first season.
Yeah.
They didn't come back out. They're not gonna bring it
I
back
haven't
out.
messed with him since
But
he did
Keenan
put
is
his
so-
man's Cal on.
Now I will tell you one show on Netflix that they really messed up not renewing is not a black show, but it's called. Have you guys ever heard of the show Friends from College?
No.
Oh, with Michael
With
Michael
Jordan-
Keaton. Jordan.
Keaton.
Yeah.
Keaton. No, it's not Jordan Peele.
Peel.
No,
Keaton.
no.
It's
Keenan. Michael
It's
Keenan.
Yeah.
Michael.
What's his
Let me
last
tell
name?
you.
Michael Keenan Key.
Let me tell
Keegan.
you.
Michael
No.
Keenan Key.
I think he
Michael
was
Keaton
hold on.
Key.
It's Jordan P. No,
Jordan
Keegan
Peele.
Michael. It's
Jordan
Keenan and
Peele
Michael.
and Michael Keenan Key.
Yeah, that's his
no,
name.
no, it's
Keaton.
not.
That's
No,
his
it's
whole
not.
name.
No, it's
No, it's not.
Is
The
it
show's
really?
called
His
Key
first
and
name
Peele,
is
right?
Michael.
His last name is Key.
Keenan.
Keegan Michael Key.
There we go.
That's his
Oh,
name.
yeah.
God, he Keenan to me.
Michael
Key.
His name is
Michael
Elemental.
Key.
Elemental P. His
Nigga
name is
named
Elemental
P.
P.
No, but no. I'm telling y'all, Friends from College. When I tell you, I
Nut
used to
show.
I'll watch
cry laughing because I think he produced that show
He
too.
did.
When I tell y'all that man,
They were wild
is
on that
so
show. Because they
good.
all like
It
included
is
their
so
friends from college, but they still got all that
freaking
drama.
wild. They're like, okay, so let me explain it. So basically, the dynamic is it's a friend group from college, and they went to Harvard.
Mm-hmm.
They're a friend group from college. So there are couples, right? It's all like couples.
Majority, yeah, it's
And
couples.
it's so funny because Keenan and then his wife, he cheats on one of his friends from college. Like his wife is the only one that's the youngest one of the group.
Yeah.
So what he ends up doing is like the first couple episodes you see it, they all have history together, and then it's Keenan's wife who's like a younger girl. So
Right.
she's kind of left out of the group in a little way. So what happens is Keenan decides he has an affair with one of his friends from college.
That he also used to
And
date.
he also used to date her. And it's kind of like one of those situations you ever hear like, damn, let me, maybe down the line I could have messed it up, but I really wanted to be with them. It's one of those things.
Hey.
And basically after like the first like 3 episodes, it's about how the friends are like hiding it. Like they're hiding it from their friends, and then their friends find out, and then basically the sophomore ends up messing with the one who cheated, her husband.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it ends up being a little bit like low-key orgy type stuff.
Yo, what's the name? They
Not
need to
orgy, but it's just like swap.
Netflix need to bring back the Get Down.
It's dead ass scandalous.
There's
What
a
did you
show.
like about it? The orgy part?
No,
Or the scandal?
I love
It's
Scandal.
funny though. No, it's mad funny. Like there's a trip.
It's
There's one
hilarious.
episode where they go on like
Oh
a
my
wine
gosh.
trip.
Yeah, right. Okay.
No, the episode they go on a wine trip, they get super
Right.
drunk. And then I think my favorite episode is probably the last one. They drive their G-Wagon into the pool.
Yeah, because
It's
they're having
absolutely
like a
hilarious.
wedding
They're
shower
having
or
a dinner party
some shit,
and
yeah.
basically, and they just do crazy shit. It reminds you a lot of just like your friendships and how you'll do crazy things to protect the people that you care about, even when you mess up. I really think that whole show is about it because they have dynamics amongst themselves where they're like, no, I don't want to tell Keenan, I don't want to tell so and so that I feel this type of way. I'm just gonna go to a strong extent to hide that I feel that type of way. Damn, that's really relatable.
So that's Chantal's show. All right.
I love
If you like
friends from
friends from college,
college.
if you like friends from college, they got like a real blended friend group. You'll
It's
like
just
the
really interesting.
So
you'll like
my-
the TV show A Million Pieces then. As
Really?
well. Yeah, you'll like that.
I feel
It's
like
about
I don't know. Friends from college give me Office vibes a little bit too.
It's
You don't
funny.
think so?
It's very funny. It's not as funny as The Office at all.
Y'all really think The Office is that funny?
Yes.
though?
Okay. I'm not gonna cap with you.
No, it's
The Office is funny, but you gotta watch after the first 2 seasons. The first 2 seasons are like really like they're just trying to fill things out.
Yeah.
After that season, the 3rd season, when it's like
It gets really good.
Yeah,
things
that's
get just
catch on.
really funny.
They
Like,
just get really.
and then by the time you get to like the mid, like the 4, 5, like 5, 6, 7, you're dead laughing every episode.
You start
Period.
learning their names.
That's how you know you in it, yeah, because you start knowing
Hey,
it.
who's your favorite white comedian in the movie?
White comedian.
Like,
It used to be.
okay,
I love Will Ferrell.
I got
I
mine. I got
like
mine.
Jim
I got
Carrey.
mine.
Jim
I
Carrey
like
to me
Jim
is pretty
Carrey.
I
funny.
like either Louis C.K.
Okay.
or
He's
Bill
funny.
Burr.
Who is that?
I'm an Adam Sandler.
Did you
guy.
watch?
I love Adam Sandler.
Adam
Yeah.
Sandler? Yes, I do have the A's.
Yes. So funny.
Yo, them two. No, I'm tripping.
That
Kevin
man is
James.
hilarious.
Oh, Kevin
I
James
love
is crazy.
Okay, that's my show. If I had to pick a show, that's my
Even this
show.
little
My-
show.
King of the
King of Queens.
Yes, that's
I watch
Queens
King of
is really
Queens
good. Yes,
every
yes.
night.
It's comedy.
King of Queens is one of the funniest shows ever.
Is it really?
And-
It's
Yes.
funny as
Cause it's just so, cause it just
Actually,
seems just so stupid.
A lot
Like,
of funny non-black shows. Yeah, King of Queens.
King of Queens.
George Lopez shows.
George Lopez,
Oh,
Raymond.
yeah.
Everybody loves Raymond.
Everybody loves Raymond. Is
Everybody
really
loves
good.
Raymond.
What's the show before that one with the brothers?
seen that sh-
Men. What is it? Men.
Oh,
Men.
2.5 Men.
2.5
Yeah,
Men.
girl
Oh,
watching
Did y'all ever
my
watch,
God. What's his name? Who did that?
Did you watch
Charlie
Nick at Night in the
Sheen.
morning?
I did.
Did you watch Nick at Night in the
Oh
morning?
yeah. everybody
Yeah.
watched
What was that
Nick
show?
at
It was
Night.
like Love and Marriage or something with Al Bundy.
Al Bundy.
Oh my God, Married
That's-
with Kids.
Married
Married
with
with
Kids.
Kids. Oh
That's
my
a good
God,
show.
yo, I used to
That
watch that
show.
every single
That's a
morning.
really good
I used
show.
to watch that every single morning.
That joint was
like
funny, too.
Nick at Night and stuff like that.
Yeah, it
So
would
I
be
learned
on.
a couple things.
You like getting. Well,
Yeah, when
we had
you
a
like getting
uniform, so it was
ready.
like getting.
Married
getting
with
to school.
Kids. No, oh my gosh.
That shit was funny too.
Yeah.
Those are like our childhood.
Black shows.
I'm trying to think. What's like a really funny show from like our child? That's So Raven. Was that?
I watched that again on
That's So
Disney.
Raven is really
Good.
funny actually.
I mean, it had.
What's another one?
Doug.
Proud Family was really
Proud
good.
Family was good.
Proud Family was
Doug.
cute.
Proud Family, Doug.
So when I was watching Hey Arnold, I realized like our cartoons had a lot of realism. To
Really?
it. Like it was there was
Hey
like a
Arnold.
tone of it. It was like
Yo, there was a
Rugrats.
show
Yeah, it just
called
felt like kinda
Fillmore.
real.
You remember Fillmore?
yeah, I remember Fillmore.
Bro,
It was real good.
so good. Cause they're like a detective and everything. Like Fillmore's like a school detective. And he's like a black. Orlando
Never
Orlando
knew.
Brown plays the voice of him.
Oh, I know what you're talking. I know
Yeah,
what you're
and
talking
he's like
about.
a detective or whatever in school, and it's
Yeah.
hilarious. It's
I like
hilarious.
What the hell is he doing?
Shut up.
Oh.
You lives here, Chantal.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's the fact that you yelled that out like that.
Yeah.
You're wilding. All right.
Wait, did I yell that?
What is yes? What is your okay? Did we all go through what show we're
Like
picking?
God
Like we
with
all need to
that.
pick a show that we all like.
That we
That we relate to.
that we
That's
all
what
relate
I
to.
said,
Or we really, or we just relate to, or we just really, really like either one of the
That
other.
we really, really like.
So
Well, yeah, I mean,
I
my,
wanna
my
know why
initial
it
my
relates
initial
to y'all
question
each,
was
though. I
what
get it.
character resembles you in all your shows?
I like
Your
what's the
shows.
name? I
Stick
like
with Lawrence.
I like the Carmichael show.
That's a really good show.
It relates to you?
Yes.
What character relates best to you?
What's the Carmichael's
Carmichael?
Like,
Like the
his
baby.
name is like Jermaine. His name is like Jermaine.
Every episode they talked about some controversial topic regarding black folks.
His name is like Jermaine
And they had
Carmichael.
different
Blackish.
perspectives. No, but they had not like Blackish though.
Cedric.
Blackish,
What's
it
Cedric
was more
the entertainment
performative,
show?
white performance.
I know you're talking about with
They
the
were
white guy from
explaining
yeah,
to
neighbor, the white guy from
everything that black people
Yeah.
New
do
Girl.
and why.
Shit.
I like the show.
That's
New
another.
Girl? New
Yo,
Girl? New
wait,
Girl
that's
is-
another show that's
Well,
fire. That's a white
New
show. New Girl.
New Girl. It's fun.
Who's
Yo.
that girl?
No, that's
After the
Eve.
first
No, who's that girl?
it's Jess. It's Jess.
It's Jess.
Oh, yeah.
That's New
Yeah,
Girl.
okay.
That's New Girl.
Yeah.
Yo, New Girl after the first like season,
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Black people like that show, but I
What?
tried watching it and I don't like that
'Cause-
cracky humor that they
What
got.
show?
New Girl.
Oh, it's good dry humor.
I've never
It's just
really,
dry humor.
Yeah.
And it's so
I
funny.
like dry humor.
But it's not dry humor like Kings of Queens. It's like dry humor like you have to get the joke. I love Kings of Queens.
Leighton.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do Insecure, Lawrence, or damn, it's a good question.
Think a funny show.
I feel like I'm gonna end up like the dad from My Wife and Kids. I'm gonna be like
You really think
yeah,
so?
I'm gonna make fun
Jay.
of
Jay.
Some dumb shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna always be joking
Michael.
and making fun of my kids.
I
Michael.
feel like me.
Yeah.
Lucy.
I'm gonna do that. I want to do that to my
Michael.
kids. Like,
That's
and
like
if
a
not
good
him,
one.
actually, I also feel like I might end up like the dad from Blackish a little bit.
I can see that.
I
more
can
for
see
you.
they're
I can
pretty
see that.
similar actually.
I can see that more for you
Yeah.
for sure. Aw.
You.
No fact.
Oh, the Bernie Mac show. Why did we never talk about
We didn't talk about Bernie Mac show.
What show?
Bernie
Bernie
Mac
Mac show.
Yo, that's one of the funniest.
that was
Yo, that shit is so funny.
That
Oh,
was
the successful.
And the Steve Harvey show. The Steve Harvey show was
Steve
good
Harvey
too.
show was
Love
Steve Harvey show was
Blackish
good too.
wishes they were a Bernie Mac
The
show.
Bernie Mac show was just really, really good because it's just like a family dynamic
I
that
love
people just
Bernie
don't
Mac.
understand, but you
Yeah.
get it
Right.
because
Yeah.
they're not my mom and dad at all. They're my aunt and uncle,
Yeah.
but it's like they're basically my mom and dad. And my dad is Anthony Anderson, so my
Yeah.
dad comes around sometimes. Yo,
Wait, Anthony Anderson was a Bernie
and this
Yeah,
before
he's the- yeah,
this was when
he's
I'm
the
Anthony.
dad.
telling you, Anthony has had a career.
But you gotta remember, Anthony Anderson used to be
Yeah.
really, really big. So like in
Yeah.
He
Transformers
wasn't
and stuff like that.
Transformers.
He's in
Yes,
Transformers
he's in
too.
Transformers,
He's the
yes.
hacker in Transformers.
completely forgot.
Kangaroo Jack.
Oh, Kangaroo Jack.
Did you
is
know
so
he was in
funny.
that
He was
movie
Big
with
Boy.
DMX? Did you know him and Gabrielle Union were in that movie with DMX, Cradle to
Yeah.
Grave?
Cradle to Grave, yes.
Yes.
Did
Anthony Anderson been around for a long time because he was
Wasn't
he's
he
dead
also
coming.
in
No.
He's been
Romeo
around.
Must Die?
He wasn't Romeo Must Die.
Yeah.
He's hilarious, bro. That man's
Um,
funny.
I think a show. I mean, I have a couple characters.
Drop him. Let's
You
go.
already know what yours is. Yours is
You already
girlfriends.
know. Yeah, it's gonna
I'm
be
Joan.
girlfriend.
All right, what's next?
I would say it's that and Tony.
Sheesh.
No,
Oh my
no,
God.
you
don't do that to yourself.
Don't do that.
Don't
From
do that.
girlfriends?
I'm not selfish
Don't do
like
that to
that.
me.
But the
I'm
more,
just not
the
selfish
more
like
that I
that,
see
though.
the original cast for Tony
She
was a
terrible
white
with her credit.
supposed to
She
be a
had
white
no
woman.
savings.
Wait, what'd you say?
Okay, so like you know that have you seen the picture of like the original cast like before
No.
they okay so they casted Tony as a white woman. So the more that I see that, the more I understand like just Tony's like life in general.
Yeah.
Why would they ever think that was even gonna fly?
They pulled it because like people were like,
Man, that was back when it was UPN.
yeah, they pulled it like before they even shot the show. They put the pictures out there and they tried to see like they tried to test it and see what people thought about it, and people hated it.
All right, well, I can also go to the game. I can see.
What, Mel?
No, I'm not med school at all. I don't think I'm like that.
You're not Tisha Campbell or whatever whatever.
You ain't Tasha Mack.
You're not Tasha Mack.
I would say I would be a mix of John and Tasha Mack. I'm not gonna lie to nobody because Tasha was that chick.
Who else?
Y'all really
She was
didn't.
the-
No, you have to think about Tasha. Tasha had a lot of like. Well, actually,
Very
Tasha had
independent,
some
always chasing the
issues,
bag.
But
Good
Tasha,
negotiator.
you got to think about her. Tasha was the original like ball busting boss ass chick.
Right.
That was before we had a lot of different type of dynamics now on television who try to like depict that. But Tasha Mack, she was that chick, and she had Rick Fox.
Okay.
We love Rick Fox. That
We
man's
love Rick
fine.
Fox.
We love Rick Fox. Okay, we do adore him.
Don't
I
nobody
didn't know
wear
he
his
was.
jersey.
Did y'all know Rick Fox was in a Tyler Perry movie?
Why I thought
Who
you
authorized it?
I thought she was about to say,
Nobody
did you
wear
know
Rick
Rick
Fox
Fox played
jersey?
basketball? I was about to be like, yes.
Shut up.
Yes.
He wasn't
Okay, so
there?
those.
He was.
He
He was
was.
pretty good. He was pretty good.
Rick,
Nobody
Rick
wears a jersey.
Fox.
Like nobody wears a Steve Kerr Bulls jersey.
Yeah.
We gotta wrap it up though, because
Okay.
my battery's going dead.
Okay. Well, Key, which one would yours be?
Oh, it's Run the World right now.
Good show.
Okay. And
They're
who do
all-
you think you are?
Who's the? Okay, now
I
that
have
I'm
not watched
rewatching
it
it,
yet.
it's about Forrest Spellman.
Exactly.
It's a good show.
I did hear about that.
Living in New York, they're about 32 years old.
Yeah, around there.
And they're all pretty much kind of successful. So no one's like the broke friend or the down bad friend. Or
Yeah.
Nice dynamic.
Right, a good.
Well, it's called Run the
dynamic, like,
World.
enjoy
That
that
they
dynamic.
It's
all
on
really do
A-
support each
it's
other.
on
Like, there's
Stars?
no
It's on
backstabbing.
Stars.
to
Nice
each other.
dynamic.
It's on Stars.
It's on
It's on
Stars.
Stars.
It's on
Some
Stars.
stars. We have stars.
It's a good show. It's just
I like the one,
I don't
the
know.
bald-headed one. She's my favorite.
What, you think it's slow?
I don't think it's slow. I think it's
I don't think it's slow.
You think it's too stereotypical?
No, I don't think that either. I think let me see. What do I
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just like, what the fuck? Like,
But
just,
that's honestly what they're going through.
yeah.
You know?
I just gotta accept it. But it's like sometimes I'm watching the show and I'm just like, fuck. Like I wouldn't have made that decision, but okay.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it is. I think that's what it is.
That's what you wanted to.
But that's what you want the TV to be good about, like, because it's like
Exactly.
I wouldn't make the decision, but you had to make that decision to make the TV show keep going. But it's like sometimes you like, but I think
not
it's
realistic.
no, I think it's funny because it's like we all have like because I have a lot of spelling friends. I'm like, yeah, that's some shit that they would do.
Maybe I'll watch it now because I've heard things about
really
it.
good.
I wanted to wait until didn't do a full season on
And
it.
it hits
Yeah,
all.
it's 8 episodes.
Okay,
It's
so I
8,
can watch
okay.
it now.
It
So
hits-
I'll binge
it
watch
hits
It hits all topics for Spellmanites. It hits
So
all
does it
topics
really?
for Spellmanites. Like I can see all of my friends in any category of all 4 of these women.
Exactly
Really?
right.
Dead ass.
They all go to therapy together.
Which I don't like. That's the only thing I don't like about the show.
What?
That they all go to therapy together.
Why do they go
Why?
together?
They don't all go. They don't
They've
go
been
to.
friends since like 6th grade.
They don't go
or
together. They
since
just all have the
college.
same therapist.
Oh my god.
So like they'll have the same therapist and they'll do different sessions. So they like have an episode where they all just do therapy. But only reason I don't like that episode is because it's like there's one girl like she's cool as hell, but she also has like main character syndrome like really really bad. Really like 2 of them do.
main character
The
syndrome.
one that's getting married, or
The one that is
no, the one that's the
one that
journalist.
the one that's the
Writer.
the one that's the book writer, the author, and also the one that's trying to get divorced. They both have main character syndrome to a point to where
I
it's
actually
like
see a little bit of myself in
yeah,
those two.
to where it's to a point to where it's like
Main
bro, like
character
it's
syndrome.
you think that you're about you think
I
it's
don't
yeah.
think he sees that part.
No,
Nah, but I think they all have a point to where they just it's so flawed. Like their ideals are so flawed. It's like that's why they're in the trouble that they're in. And then I think they're also just like
Sounds very.
like I think the ball girl like whatever what's the ball girl's name whatever who she is I forgot. She's just not grateful.
I don't think that I have main character syndrome.
I mean,
She's not grateful
What
because
do you mean she's not grateful?
what she's done already is amazing. So she should be grateful. Like but she's not even appreciative of that to be able to be like let me go to the next level
Because
in life.
that's not where she saw her life. She saw her life. She was right. She wrote a book. She thought it was going to take off her career, but her book.
Her first her first book
flopped
did her first book
terribly.
Sound like
her first book did great. Second book
The
did
second
book
book,
flopped.
second book flopped terribly. So now she's back.
Sound
out
like some
where
best
she feels
man
like
stuff.
bottom. She's
Yeah.
32.
But at the
She
same
feels like
time-
she's down back to the beginning.
But I hate the fact that like 32,
Like best man.
I think that I mean I think we all kind of think that way, but 32 is not old for one, which makes
But
which makes me so upset about the show because I'm like 32 is pretty young still.
It is young, but she's back at the point where she was in her 20s.
I feel
and
it.
She thought she was about to be elevated.
I mean,
by
you
her
gotta think
30
about how
at
hard that
32.
is. That's like resetting.
I get that, but I think at the same time it's like, and I think that
And
the
then-
therapist said it the best. Like, yo, you've done so much. Like, you should be at least happy or proud about that to now build. She's not even happy about that. Like, yo, you just basically.
But when you think about it, yes, I've done so much. By doing all that, I thought I was going to be taking off because I laid the foundation. Why am I back there?
But now that you're
at
back
that
there,
foundation?
what's next?
And that's what she's trying to figure
And that's I
out.
think that's where she's at right now
And
mentally.
this is on Star.
This is Star.
Yeah,
It's a good show.
Okay, we're
All right,
gonna watch it.
promise.
All-
They talk
by the
they're
next
very
episode,
open.
I will
They're
They're
no-
open about
they're
thinking
no-
about sex with each other, about
They're open with everything.
their cursing, their nudity. It's very
I
open.
They're
did
open.
speak to one of my mentors today, and she was saying how her and her friends they've known each other for 40 years. And I literally looked and said,
I'm not like that.
"I'm 25."
40 years.
People be having long friendships. Like she's like, I've known my friends since we were
Oh,
children.
I got friends like that.
I've
So when you do, I could totally.
I've
see
known
how
Lady
you
for
do
like
things
I've now
together
known Lady for like I
this.
think like 10 plus years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
She said, yeah.
Last question.
She mad.
So I saw this on Twitter, and this lady who had a BBL was out wilding out, and she was talking about like how like if people get vaccines, like y'all are just gonna listen to the government, y'all are sheep. It was a big tweet. It
Wait,
really
what?
like she's saying because like y'all are sheep. But then somebody quoted it and said like, yo, you just got a BBL in Colombia, like just off of like because everybody's getting BBL, so who's the real sheep? So the answer is what is more risky, or what would you rather? Yeah, let's do what is more risky instead of what would you rather have because we're men. What is more risky? Would you rather have a BBL in Colombia or take the vaccine?
Well,
What
is
is more risky,
Colombia?
or what would you rather do?
So first off, you can have a BBL in the States, but I think at this time, the BBL she wanted was in Colombia
Wait, why would? Okay.
because it's probably more affordable than what it is in
I agree. It is.
in Chicago or in Atlanta
It
or in
is.
Miami.
It's going to be
Yes,
because you think.
and there's a big thing. There's like a picture on Twitter where like they're all like it's a bunch of women in the chairs. I don't know if you've seen this shit like.
Yeah, that shit happened when we went to DR.
Yeah,
we came
it's
back
literally-
from DR. It was literally like 8 wheelchairs.
Because
people
you
going back because they got BBLs
That's in South
done.
Park. Shit.
Facts.
And it was
So-
really sad to see women, and they were just like, oh, you know,
Okay, so
walking slow.
let it die.
And this is during COVID.
So
you
what
have
what
a
would you
mask on
what
and
okay
everything.
let's go through it. What would you rather have? BBL, vaccine. What you doing?
I would rather have the vaccine.
Okay.
Wait, can I explain my reason?
We ain't got time for that.
Why not?
Okay, then I would rather do the vaccine than a BBL in Colombia.
So BBL is actually the most dangerous, one of the most dangerous procedures you can get done.
Which
on the
is
body.
also why we said which more risky because you don't really know about this vaccine yet, and now we got the Delta variant.
Delta
Well,
Plus.
the thing about it is that too, with the BBL in another country, you can get die on
Track
the table.
something.
You can die of a
I
virus.
heard
You
the
can't
Kappa
everywhere.
Bear gives you the
You can.
shimmies.
And
It's rough.
and that
Okay.
has been
All right, y'all. Well,
about to jump for
today's episode was all about television and movies, so we hope you enjoyed our commentary. Join us for next week for episode 10. Have a great week. Bye.
bye.
Yo, Dose. You are now tuned into the Milk and Honey Podcast.
All the money in the world couldn't even amount to a teaspoon of honey when it melt in your mouth.